According to Associated Press, at least 21 highly trained cops and ex-military were among the rioters. The Oath Keepers, one of the largest anti-government groups, claims to have thousands of police and army veterans as members.
Current military and law enforcement have already been arrested for participating in last week's attack.
Why are extremists recruiting the military and the police? This is Newspresso with the news that matters in a quick serve.
There's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue, patriots and Trump. And it was amazing to get to see the president talk.
This morning, new details about 35-year-old Ashley Babbitt, who was shot and killed by a Capitol police officer.
Ashley Babbitt, an Air Force veteran of 14 years, died while leading a mob in the Capitol. Why did she use her training meant to protect the country for violence? Why some in the military and police join extremist groups?
36% of troops have seen evidence of white supremacist and racist ideologies in the military, according to a Military Times survey of more than 1,600 active duty personnel published in February. That's a 14% increase from a similar survey.
One of the reasons is they're actively sought out and groomed by the groups. Disgruntled Army veterans and cops make perfect members. They come in handy for their knowledge of firearms, explosives, tactical skills, and their access to weapons and intelligence. Some of them even sign up as teenagers and enlist in the military just to get weapons training.
Klansmen, for God! For God! For the United States Marine Corps!
For the United States Marine Corps!
Klansmen, for the U.S. Army!
For the U.S. Army!
The Ku Klux Klan recruited openly in the armed forces for decades. In the 1970s, Marines wore KKK insignias on base, posted threatening flyers in common areas, and carried large knives to scare Black Marines. For most people, it seems like a relic of times gone by. But is it? The groups are still recruiting. A recent investigation found that hundreds of law enforcement officers were members of Confederate, anti-Islam, misogynistic, or anti-government militia groups on Facebook. And almost 150 were involved with violent anti-government groups such as the Oath Keepers and Three Percenters. The FBI warned of law enforcement getting infiltrated 15 years ago. In a 2006 memo, it warned of ghost skins. Ghost skins are hate group members that do not openly show their beliefs and secretly advance white supremacy. One time, FBI caught a skinhead group that forced the ghost skins to search for jobs in law enforcement, so they'll warn them of any investigations.
Pandemic wasn't real, and the race war isn't real.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Orders of QAnon were out in full force at present.
Where we go one,
We go home.
where we go one,
We go home.
QAnon is a very elaborate conspiracy theory that purports that the world's controlled by an elite cabal of Satan-worshipping pedophiles. The QAnon community believes that this cabal, they control everything, including the media, Hollywood, and especially politicians like Hillary Clinton.
Extremist groups target the military and the police not only because of their knowledge. With such community leaders, it's easy to spread conspiracy theories and get a quick following. In Ashley's case, she was a firm believer in QAnon. Her brother told New York Times that she felt like she gave most of her life to her country but wasn't being listened to. Her social media feed was her only refuge, a combo of QAnon conspiracy theories and pro-Trump tweets. Army veterans and disgruntled cops fall prey to these groups. After serving years for their country, they struggle to find a new sense of purpose. A former white supremacist says that joining the KKK gave him a sense of purpose that had filled a void in his life. He says that in the group, there was always someone who had drugs. PTSD, drugs, and the media's rhetoric against them only fueled his anger even more. Although warned 15 years ago, only now police and the military are breaking down on extremists within their ranks. But the US is failing to police itself. Agencies lack a national strategy to identify extremists. There is no federal policy for vetting or keeping track of the country's 800,000 plus officers for radical views. Many departments have a tradition of saying the officer is entitled to his or her opinions under the First Amendment. There are almost 1,000 hate groups in the US, spreading conspiracy theories and creeping into law enforcement. Amongst them, white supremacist groups pose the largest threat. According to a CSIS report, right-wing extremists were responsible for more than 90% of terrorist attacks in the US in 2020.